Hi everyone, I trust everyone is keeping well. I hope your weekend and your week have been good. Welcome to episode 2 of what? Of our Love It by Design's journey and process. First episode, just to recap, we did history of what we've done thus far since we began, and then the previous episode I was talking about the project that we're doing right now, which is we are showcasing our Canva collection in Accra, Ghana in December 2025, second week of December. So we're really looking forward to that. But for episode 2, I'd like to just continue a bit of our history, and then I'll tie it to where we're at right now. And how I'm going to do it is I'll just answer a Q&A of questions that have been asked by people who wanted to know why am I doing this now, here, and in this season. So how the Sisterhood Stories began, or how we began that season, was, I think I'd even mentioned in the previous video, the goal was to look for something small that we can sell in the meantime as we wait for the desire to do our big projects, and our big fashion projects at that point were fashion films. And so the small way was picking jewelry from our collections and making them small and sellable in a way that people can buy daily. But I was like, no, we have to tie a story to it, because I already knew that I wanted to tell stories through it. And so the first thought was, how can we do that? And I was like, sisterhood. I've lived sisterhood. I know sisterhood. And so how can I do that? So I started by doing a shoot. In fact, I'll just insert some photos. Got 5 of my friends together, my sister included, and a couple of her friends, and we did a shoot just inspired by sisterhood. And that's what I began with, just a shoot inspired by sisterhood. In fact, I have a photo, I have a, what can we say, a storyboard just a bit inspired by that. So here's a storyboard. I told you how much I love storyboarding. Even if this is for a later project, but you can see them in the middle, right? You can see them, right? The girls, yeah. Anyway, I'll put in really good images of them. And so yeah, that's how it began. It began by that first photo shoot, and then after that we had 2 more collections. Is it 2 or 3? So the second collection, I think, was a collaboration with, no, I just released more pieces, and then the third collection was a collaboration with Sultan Kenya. That time they were doing earrings. Right now they're full-blown fashion brand. And then we collaborated and did a collection where we layered chokers and put in tassels. It was gorgeous, and I'll put photos there. That collection was sold out. It did really well. And then after that, I was like, no, let's start talking about what sisterhood means. When I released those chokers, I started interviewing different girls that I knew in my life, from my cousins to my friends. I'm just like, tell me what you guys know about sisterhood. Tell me what you've experienced in your sisterhoods. What have you learned about each other? And there's so many videos on our YouTube channel of just the history of what those sisterhood stories looked like and what everyone said. Then now I collaborated with Kenyan stylist. I collaborated with Brian Babu, and he took my pieces and he styled different people with them. Also Patricia Kihoro also took a couple of my pieces and she styled her clothes with them. And so I'm so grateful because I received good traction and good sales from those collaborations. And then our fourth collection released in 2023, again inspired by sisterhood. I'll put the images here. The shoot that we did, again layered chokers with different, these are one pieces, and I like that I'm wearing different chokers for different videos, just to show you an array of our products. So these ones are single, and it was in that collection, and I gave each collection a name. So every girl represented a name, every girl represented a choker, a collection, and she spoke about it, and she talked about what her message was to these girls who are wearing that collection and those chokers. And I shall also share those pictures here. So this is our 5th or 4th, I think this is our 5th collection, and this one comes together with the Naruto collection. And within this collection there are so many pieces. We have more chokers, more designs, keeping our signature looks. We have our signature chokers, which I'll put here. We have our signature looks, so those ones remain, but we're also putting in new designs. And then also we are introducing waist chokers, guys. These ones legendary. I shall also show those. So how this collection is different, I think this collection is different, one, because this time we are doing clothes, and then this time the clothes are paired with the chokers. The second thing is we are introducing a new set of chokers, and that's waist chokers, and we're so excited about those. I think what's different is some signature pieces will remain in the collection. Look at me looking as if the collection is here, but I can see my sketches in the distance. There's the waist chokers, signature collection are there. We have different types of chokers and things that you can wear. We have pieces that will reach the neck, pieces that will just be like this. We remain with the simple stuff. In fact, I brought some chokers to show you. So like when I said our signature chokers, this is a signature Lovely by Design choker because one, it is one of our best sellers. So like for example, this is our signature choker. Another signature choker is what I'm wearing on my hair as an accessory. That's another choker. Then we have, this is from our first collection. Here's another one. So what I'm saying is that there's a chance for you to layer the jewelry the way that you want. So for example, why earrings, will you give me a chance? For example, yes, I'll take this choker and I'll add it to my many pieces of that I have layered on, and you can see, guys, look at that. Look at our girl's neck. I'm winning. I'm really winning in this look. I don't know about you, but I'm winning. Hey, it's a look. So what I'm saying is that there's the ability to layer the chokers the way that you want in your style. What if I did orange? It's a look. What if I did blue? Another look. What if I did black and white? Hey, it's giving. It's giving. What if I did plain green? Another look. Is another color here? Ooh. So this is what I mean by our signature chokers. These ones, designs, like I'll also put in things that we basically, yeah, our signature look. So here's another one. That's gold and black. So yeah, that's what's different and where we so far in the process. I think this process has been really exciting. First of all, in the past 2 weeks, I have been, let's say in the past 1.5 weeks, I've been doing a lot of fabric shopping. In fact, let me just give you a glimpse of some fabric I've got. I can tell you already what is in the collection. So there's that, and that's all I'm showing. The rest you can guess. I think my expectation in this process and doing these pieces has been that I don't know, there's a way you always imagine how things would go, and so I'd imagined that I would get designers on board and get pattern drafting done and get different ways, but it's not going how I expected. But what I can say is happening is that I am receiving more than I imagined, and each meeting I have with different people opens my mind in a different way. In this way, either I learn that that's not somebody we're meant to work with, and they also make it clear that they are not supposed to be part of this project. 2, I can have a conversation with somebody and they're like, how about doing this? Have you considered this? Have you thought about this? And that opens my mind to think differently, and that has opened a path to more collaborations with different people. So it's honestly not gone how I expected. And with that being said, instead of collaborating with many designers, what I've collaborated with tailors, I've collaborated with people that I know that I will also use long term. So that's what has shifted, that the people that I thought would be with me on the journey from the beginning and are not, but instead I've got people who will be with me even in the longevity of this project. This season I've been surprised by conversations I've had with people. There are people who've had conversations where they've enlightened me to think a certain way, to process things a certain way, so that has been really helpful. I've had conversations with people who have told me to think this way, people who've encouraged me. I really appreciated those conversations, because I keep telling people, guys, even if you're not giving money for me, I think I've really appreciated people who've said, Nema, I know this is a crazy project, but keep the faith, keep going. I really appreciated that. I've appreciated people who've prayed with me. I've appreciated people who've given me insight. The people who've really given me insight, like, do it this way. Have you thought about this? Consider this. How about that, this and that? That I have really appreciated. I've also learned that there's need to communicate really good as you're talking with different people. So that's been interesting. And then finally, what we're doing next, I think episode 4, definitely I will be introducing more teams, more people who are working with us, and then at the same time take you through storyboarding, what we can guess this collection is about. That should be interesting. And then live, I think that would be fun if we all came on live to try and imagine what this collection is. judging from my past work, judging from where we've begun, like what do you think this collection looks like? So that will be the next. But in the meantime, continue to put in the support that you want to give in form of conversation, in form of collaborations. If there are ways that you've had me speak and you'll be like, I think I want to pour in here, come through, from social media to anything that you feel you can collaborate with us with. And I think this next phase is all about strategy. It's a word. It's all about strategy. I think it's why I say strategy, because I've done phase 1, phase 2, and I thought I would never be here. I didn't think people would give to the extent that they give, and people have given, and so I'm so grateful for that. So I didn't think that we'd get this far, so I'm grateful for that. So strategy in the sense that I know what I need to do, I know who I need to talk to, and so that's what my next steps are with this project. But thank you for listening. Thank you for keeping up with me. Bye.